do have compassion and prayer for all the families. We're praying for the victims of this COVID-19. We're praying for the nurses and the healthcare workers. However, we feel the church is not a normal institution. The church is a house of prayer, and we must pray for those, and we must be open those who are affected by this virus. This virus has made a hypocrite out of a lot of pastors. We must believe that we walk by faith, not by sight. This virus is not bigger than God. And my problem is that all of a sudden now, pastors has no faith. Well, the first thing is the church is covered under the First Amendment. The governor, the mayor cannot close the church. We are guaranteed the freedom of speech, the freedom of assembly, and the freedom of religion. But even at that, when the governor said we open things back up, the bars are open, the restaurants are open, the beaches are open. Now all of a sudden there's a fear factor that we can't open the church. So we have pastors now who have not opened the church even after they could open it.
Now, how do you explain that to people when we're seeing at least over 100,000 people who have died from this virus across the country?
Right. The church, I'm not oblivious to the virus and the statistics. I'm not clueless to the numbers of those who have died in New York and California and 100,000 people nationwide. But I know that God's word is bigger than any virus, and that prayer and an open and a closed prayer and an open church can get us through this. I have a problem now. All of a sudden, the church is the most dangerous place in town.
If a member of your church contracted COVID-19 and somehow dies, and,
right,
has come to church,
right?
Will you feel,
well,
bad about that?
If someone contracted COVID-19 and actually died, we still gonna trust God. The God we serve is able, but if not. But all of a sudden now nobody thinks about catching the disease at Wal-Mart, Lowe's, or at the bar, or at the beach, or at the liquor store. Nobody worries about catching the church in these pagan areas. But all of a sudden, we can't sit next to somebody that we worship with for 20 years. No. I think the devil is using this to poison people's mind. Pastors, you got to put your faith in action and trust God through this. And open the church. Yes, sir.
What's your response to the president? He said churches should open immediately.
I'm 100%. President Trump and I have disagreed on a number of things. The sad news is President Trump has made a hypocrite out of pastors. President Trump is right. The church is essential.